Hi everyone, my name is Osbert and welcome. So in today's video, I would like to walk FileMaker beginners through how to use portal filtering. Now, first of all, what is a portal? So a portal basically is a way of displaying your related records from another table inside your layout. So if you take a look at my file here, this is a very simple file. Let me show you how it's set up. Now for my tables, I have project, I also have task, and I also have global. So in a global table, I have these fields: filter, status, search, from, and then to dates. Then I also have tasks, and then I also have projects. Now when I come to my relationship diagram, I have a very simple, so a project linked to task. That's basically it. All right, so back to my layout. Now portal filtering. Now without portal filtering, what will be happening is that you'll be showing all the records in your portal, but then with filtering, then you will only be displaying only in some selected records. So take for example my first tab. Now the first tab, I am only displaying records with the status of in progress. So that's all I'm saying. Then the second tab is a bit dynamic, so I could click on to do, and then it displays for me only records that have the status of to do. If I click on in progress, I get to see only the in progress records. Same for completed. So that's for the second tab. Now the third tab, we have the option to search. So let's say that I want to search for design. So whilst I'm typing in, it's searching along the line, along the way. Yeah, so that's about the search. Then the fourth tab, I have the opportunity to also search a date range. So let's say we have due dates, and I want to search dates within the range of 4th February to, let's say, 18th February. So I want to see only records within that period. When I select 4th February to 18th, it filters it down for me too as well. Can go ahead and hit on the show all to display everything. All right, then on the 5th tab, now I have combined two of the filters. So I have a search, and then I can also, within that search, I could also search within a date range. So let's say, for example, I am searching for design. Okay, so we have it filtered down to this these 4 records. Now I could say that, okay, I also just want records between 4th February to 13th. So 4th February to 13th, and it narrows it down again for me. Well, let me hit show all. So the 6th tab, I have this field, and then I also have this. So maybe I want to see records that are in progress, or tasks that are in progress. So I could click on this, it narrows it down for me, and then I could probably start typing C, for example, and then it narrows it down to only 4. Then I would also say, okay, well, maybe just display records that with the due dates between 18th and 20th. So we should give us only these 3 records, 17th, 24th February. So 18th to 20th, and so it narrows it down. So basically, this is how portal filtering is, or this is what the whole idea of portal filtering is. And I mean, it helps in many ways. So how do we achieve that? Let me hit the show all, and this is my after file. So I would my before file, and so then we can start. Now we will go to edit layout, your layout mode. Let me make room for this. All right, and then what I'll do is double click on my portal. Then the next thing is we have some options here. We have sort portal. We also have filter portal records. I'll go ahead and click on specify and then set my rule over here. So I'll click inside of this, and then my rule is this. So let me show you what I'll be doing. So this is going to be my rule. My rule will be if status equals to do, or maybe in progress or completed, only show me that record. That is all I want to see. So that is the first one. So I'll double click and then I'll say that if my status equals to, first of all, let's do to do, show me only that record. Save. So now I only get to see the records with the status to do. That's all I get to see. Now I could also go back and then change it to, say for example, in progress. Then I'll hit OK and OK and then save. So now I only get to see related records that have the status of in progress, and then same thing for completed. So status with completed, and there you have it. So you get to see only status that have completed. I mean, this is quite very useful. I get to see that a lot in especially people use it, developers use that with invoices. So I want to see only unpaid invoices. I want to see only invoices that are past due, or I want to see invoices that are open. You know, you can do that. I mean, you can use that technique in that. Then the second one is we want this to be dynamic. So when I click on this, I want to see only to do. When I click on this, I want to see only in progress. When I click on completed, I want to see only completed records that have, I mean, the status with completed. How do we do that? Now, we go back to our layout mode, and then I'll double click on this and click on specify for filter. Now, instead of, so status equal to, now instead of as putting in the record, I mean typing it in, what we'll do is to now use our global fields. And so we want to say that whatever value we have in the global field, if it's equal to the status, then show me that record. Basically, that is the idea. So if it's equal to this, show me that record. So let me delete this. So status equal to, go to my global field, and I'll select status. I'll say okay. Then I'll say okay. Now this is my global field, which holds these records here: to do, in progress, and completed. So we are saying that if this equals to the status, then show me that record. Then I'll hit go to browse mode, second tab. Now I get to see completed, but when I click on in progress, well, nothing is happening. Why is that? Now with FileMaker, when you are trying to achieve something like this using portal filtering, one of the things you need to remember is always you need to refresh the record. So I'll come here now. First of all, to do it manually, if I go to records and then I look for refresh window and I click on refresh window, now I get to see records that have the status of in progress. So when I click on to do, I don't get to see anything. But when I go to records and I click on refresh window, it updates. So how do we do this? It will be so uncomfortable that all the time you have to come here and then you click refresh and all of that. So what do we do? One of the ways to go around with this is to create a script and say that, well, fire this script anytime a user clicks on this or saves this record or something, that's the whole idea. So let's go ahead and write our script now. So I'll go in, click on this, and I'll call it refresh window. All right. Now, what do we need to do? Let's just outline the steps. The first thing to do is I'll commit my record, right? Then the second thing I'll do is I'll refresh the window, and that's basically it. All right, so I'll save all. So let's go over it again. Now, when a user clicks on this, you'd want to save that record, or you commit the record, and then you come to under records, you refresh your window. So go back to my script, come here, and I'll say commit record, and then refresh window. Now, some developers, experienced developers wouldn't use refresh window. They'll probably use refresh portal, and then we'll get there as well. So don't worry about that. And then I'll save. So what I'll do is I'll go to my layout mode, and then I'll right click on this and select set script trigger. Basically what this does is trigger this script when you do something. So these are the events. So when you enter the field or the object, perform this, or when you modify, do this. When you save an object, do this. Most of the time I will use on object save or on object exit, but most of the time object save. So anytime a user saves a record, perform this script. So I'll click on this, and then I'll select refresh window, and I'll hit OK, and I'll hit OK, then exit and save. Now let's go to the second tab again and then try it out. When I click on in progress, we are already on in progress, so completed. Well, this doesn't work. Why? Refresh window. All right, so let me click on in progress and click let me have my script debugger on and see what the problem is. So in progress, commit, refresh window. All right, this doesn't seem to work. So the other thing we could do is to name our portal. So let's give it a name and call it filter 2. Okay, so let's say filter 2. Let's give it a name. Now go back to our script and then use refresh portal, and then give it a name that we assign to it. So filter 2 and hit OK. Well, most of my, all my scripts I like to also end it with as a script. So yeah, and I'll hit save, and I'll go to browse mode. I'll come back here and I'll click on to do, then in progress and completed. Now it's working, so which is good. All right, great. All right, so dynamically this is how you can actually achieve that. So when you click on in progress, when you click on completed, you get to see the related records assigned to that. Now our third tab. So how do we get to search within our portal? All right, now I would like to introduce you also to one of FileMaker's functions called pattern count. Now pattern count actually helps us check if a word or a phrase exists in a text. Now this function, it doesn't tell you where the word is, only how many times it appears. So let's go to data viewer. Let me just demonstrate how it works to give you an idea. So I could say pattern count, and then the text, this is the text that you are searching through, and then the search string. So we could say something like X, then we could also have milk, and then we could also have sugar. Then I would say that I'm searching for the word X. Does it exist within this string? So let me say X, and it tells me 1. So which means we have X over here. What about if I say milk? It tells me 1. But if I type in Osbet, it tells me 0. So you can't find Osbet within the string. All right, so that's just a basic way to look at pattern count. Now let's try to use it. So in this situation, let's go to layout mode, double click on our portal, click on specify. So what I'll do is I'll say pattern count. All right, and then we are searching, the field we'll be searching in will be the task description. So let's say task description, and then the string. We are using the field, the global field search. So this way we'll be typing our search result or whatever it is. So when we type in Osbet, and then we are going to compare it with the task description. That's Osbet lives here. Can I find a record Osbet here? If yes, then it will display that for us. So let me go to my global, and then I'll select search over here, and then I'll hit OK, and then I'll hit OK. Then click save to go to browse mode. Then I'll go to the third tab. Now it doesn't display anything at the moment, and we'll get to that. So let's search for description. Come here, and then I would click on refresh window. let me rather search for testing and then save, and I'll refresh my window. So it gives me a result. All right, now let's just go ahead and then also write a script for this, so that anytime we are typing, and then it should give us our results. I mean, so script, I'll duplicate this. Oh, first of all, let's give it a name, filter 3. So the name of the portal is filter 3. Then I'll go to my script, refresh window. Oh, let me call this refresh filter 3. There is a much better way of managing the script, where you can have everything in one. But then, since we are now starting to learn how to use scripts and all of that, and so you don't get confused, I mean, it's much better for you to have it in this manner. So refresh window, I mean refresh portal, the tab 3. So we would have commit record, and then we'll say refresh portal, and filter 3. Okay, that's a script. Come in here, right click on this, select script triggers, and then first of all I'll select object save, and then select filter 3 and hit OK. Say OK. Come back here, delete this, click out, I see nothing, and then I'll come back and then I'll enter tests, click out to commit the record. Now I have this, but we don't want to have that effect. We want to see it, you know, show up, I mean display the records when you type T, when you type E, when you type S, T, you know, like that. But before we do that, let's go into our portal filter, and then I'm going to add a case statement to say if this field is empty, display all records, else then show me whatever record that's a user case into this. So I'll use a case statement. You can also use an if statement, but then I like to use a case statement. So I'll say that if the global field is empty, if the search field is empty, then it's true. So display all the records for me. So if it is empty, it's true, display all the records. You could actually type in true, or you could also just type 1. They are the same thing. And then my semicolon come, delete this, and then I'll add this here and hit OK. Now when I go to the third tab and I delete, click out, now I get to see everything in the record, in the portal. When I start typing, let's say DES, and I click out, it gives me the related record. Now I don't like it like this. I want a situation where once I start typing DES, I want the portal to filter based on that. So how do we achieve that? Well, one of the things that we could do is to change it from, the script triggers from on object save to on object modify. All right, so object modify, basically anytime I modify a record, trigger the scripts. Anytime I make any change, so when I type A, it will trigger. When I type B, it will trigger. When I type C, that is how it works. So click on save, and then when I type in D, and then I type in, so what is happening here? Well, so when I type in D, well, it goes, performs a search, commits the record, and that is it. But we want a situation where the script would indicate our cursor in the search for it. So what I'll do is to go back and modify my script. So this is what I'll do. Commit the record, refresh, and then take the user back to the search field. So go to layer, go to field. And then I'll indicate the global field search, and I'll say okay. Delete. Okay. Now when I type D, when I type E, so that is how it works. So that's how it works, and this is how you can achieve it. Now let's go to the fourth tab. The fourth one, we would like to search on our dates field, so the due date field. How do we achieve that? We want a situation where when you type in, let's say, when you key in, let's say 4th February to 15th, you want date ranges between that time, that dates range. So how do we achieve that? Well, same thing, same idea. Go into layout mode, into my filter, and then I'll insert my rule over here. Now the first one is this. We want a situation where whatever we enter here would the rule affects the portal. So I would say something like, first of all, I'll add my case statement, and then if this is empty, display all records, just like we did for the previous tab. So if the from field is empty, then it's true. Else, what do we do? Well, we are going to say that our due dates is greater than or equal to, and I like to pick my operators from here. Greater than or equal to, all right, greater than or equal to the from date. So I'll come here and then I'll say from dates, and then I'll say okay. Then I'll hit this and this, come here, select this, and then I'll say something like 13th. Click out to commit and then refresh, and then I have dates dates ranges from 15th upwards. All right, well, but when you take a look at our rule over here, what does this mean? What does this actually mean? So basically what I'm saying is that due date greater than the from date. So let's say, for example, we have 4th February. We also have 13th February. And then we also have 20th February. Now we are saying that, and then these are the due dates. And so we're saying greater than or equal to 13th February. What is going to be our result? Well, basically our result would be, first of all, well, it's 13th. Is this greater than? Yeah, so the way to look at this is this. Is 4th February greater than 13th February? No. Is 13th February greater than or equal to 13th? Yes. Is 20th February greater than or equal to this? Yes. So it's going to maintain 13th to 20th, and then all records that are above this, greater than the 13th February. That's how to look at it. Right, so I'll hit OK, and then I'll say OK, and then go to browse mode, and then go in and create my script. So for filter 4, delete this since it's going to be on save. Change this to 4, save, come to the 4th tab, and then I'll add my script trigger to it. So on object save, hit OK, OK, then save. Come here, and then let me delete everything, and I'll say that I want to see records greater than, let's see, equal to or greater than 18th. So let me just select 18th. All right, so I get to see 18th, 20th, 22nd, 27, and all right, which is working well. Now let's go ahead with the 2 dates. So come here, and then I'll add an end statement operator, and then case. Also I'll say if it's empty. If this field is empty, the 2 dates. Now we are treating the 2 dates actually. So if that is empty, then it's true. Else our global field two dates is greater than or equal to our from date. So like this. Due dates like this. Say okay. Save. Go to the tab. Delete this. Shows all the records. Then I could say that give me date ranges between 18th and 22nd. Oh, sorry, I think I forgot to add my script trigger. Save. Hit OK. Save. So 18th and then 22nd. So now I get to see records between 18th, 20th, and 22nd. And so that's how that works. Now, when we come to the third tab, delete this here. What we are going to do basically is to match the whole idea. I mean, the idea that we have been playing with all along. So we are going to match this and then this together. So come in here and then go to portal filtering. I'll say case. So if it's empty, which is this field, is if it is empty, then it's true. Else pattern count task, and then I'll say task description. And search. Now I would add an end operator and then I'll say case statement. Well, for some reason I'm feeling a little bit lazy, so I'll copy this and paste it over here. And so if my from field is empty, so let me use from field is empty, display everything, and then I'll say my due date is greater than or equal to my from date. So from dates like this, and then I'll go ahead again and add another operator, and then I'll say let me copy this, paste, and then I'll change this to from to my to dates, and then this will be 2, and then this would be my due dates, and I'll hit OK and OK. Then let me just go ahead and then duplicate this as well, and that'll be my fit tab. I'll hit OK. I'll commit my records, and then I'll refresh my portal, and then I'll go ahead and add an if statement to say that if so I'll go ahead and add an if statement, and I'll say if not is empty, which is my global field here, the search field, if it's not empty, then go to field. Like this over here. close this. Now I'll set my script triggers. So top 5, I'll say okay, and then go ahead and set this on save. Save. Well, I think I made a mistake over here. Let me change that to on modify. Hit OK and save. All right, so when I go to top 5 and then I type in design. Yes. All right. So this is working. I could come in again here and I'll say I want to see records between 18th and then to 20th. It is also working. But what if I want to see create? So I could start typing in create and then it filters down. It filters it also for me. So this is how the filter works. Now I'll make the file available, and so the filter, the tab 6. Please go ahead and then use that as a homework and try to see if you can achieve that. The whole idea is for you to just combine it just like we did in tab 5. So if you're able to achieve that, you can send me an email and then share with me and let me know what you have done. I'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you very much. Bye.